Okay, y'all. Wow, that actually looks better than I was expecting. Okay. Hi, everybody. I am here and just realized that my collar's flipped up. It's probably been flipped up all day. So I probably look like a dork all day because I went out this morning with a flipped up collar like I was trying to do an Elvis impersonation or something. Did y'all know that I don't even remember what I was watching, or maybe I was listening to a podcast, but the fellow said something like 30% of the adults in the United States still think that Elvis is alive, which I thought was just, I'm not sure what that means about the adult population of the world, but it's kind of sad. Anyways, okay, so on to other things. It's been since Monday since I've done a scope, and I feel kind of like, like I've been behind and like I need to catch up on everything because I took Tuesday off. I took my kids to town. They do the Book It program, which in the United States is a program by Pizza Hut, which is a pizza franchise here in the United States. And they have a little program where if the kids meet a reading goal every month, they get a Book It certificate to get a free personal pan pizza. And it's definitely not healthy, but they love it. It's so much fun. So we do that. And I don't have to motivate my kids to read with pizza, but I can motivate them to clean the house, that if the house isn't clean, we're not going to go out and get pizza, so maybe I get something out of it. Anyways, so we took the day off because we went there and then we went to the library, ironically enough, and so that was a nice day. And then Wednesday's our usual day off, so here we are, back here. Did y'all know I got started doing scopes because I heard of other moms doing scopes, and like I watched a couple of Crystal scopes for Money Saving Mom. She's at Money Saving Mom. I don't know if y'all have watched any of her scopes, but they're a lot of fun. I don't get a lot of time to watch them, but I like watching them, and I jumped onto one she had this morning because she's got a freebie going on right now, and it looked appealing, and I'm human too. But she had like 300, 400, 500 people on there, so I'm like, man, how does she do that? I would so like to have. Now, I realize that she's got a lot of moms who aren't just like pregnant or getting ready to birth or have babies. So, I know that I'm not going to have quite as wide of an audience, but I'm like, man, if I could get like 100 pregnant moms or 100 new moms on here, just the things that I can share. That's really, what I want to do in life aside from take care of my own family and I've got some other personal interests, though those mostly revolve around babies. But that's what I want to do is I want to help moms and babies, and it's like, man, if I could even have like a slightly larger fraction of her audience. But anyways, check out her scopes because she's so inspiring, and she was also talking about a challenge that she had with another like Periscope personality or blogger and how she handled that. And I actually have no idea what went on, but I thought that her response was really admirable. So, she's a good role model. So check her out. Anyways, that was chatty. I did say that we were going to be chatty because I'm feeling a little bit chatty. But let's talk now. On Monday, ages ago, we talked about like some of the changes that your body goes through in pregnancy, and we talked about them on a system-by-system basis. And I did that to kind of illustrate to you just how many changes your body goes through. And if you haven't had a chance to watch that scope yet, I think we have it up on YouTube. We don't have it on the blog yet because I'm behind posting them on the blog. I've got to get on top of that. But we've got them on the YouTube channel, Birth Baby Care, youtube.com/birthbabycare. And you can check that one out. Again, I talk about like a system-by-system look at the changes of your body in pregnancy because they're really profound. It impacts basically every system. And when I say system, I'm talking about like skeletal system, muscular system, circulatory system, respiratory system, urinary system, and also endocrine system. That's the word I'm looking for. That's your hormones. Big impact there. And also the integumentary system, which is your skin, and of course the reproductive system. And I didn't spend too much time on that one because that one's a little more obvious. But basically, we talked about a lot of changes and the profound changes that go on in pregnancy. And I share that not to scare or cause anybody, to worry. But I think when we know just how much pregnancy impacts us day to day, it creates some nice things for us. Like first, it creates the ability for us to say, okay, I'm doing huge work here, and I need to, I need to take it easy, and I can take it easy. You can give yourself a break because you know that your body is doing an amazing thing, not just growing your baby, but there's all these other system-wide adaptations that are going on to ensure your baby's health and your health, and to ensure a good breastfeeding relationship once your baby's born, to help you and baby fall in love with each other, and also, just to keep you kind of feeling good, because it's important to enjoy parenting, to enjoy as much as possible pregnancy and everything. I mean, from a design perspective on how pregnancy works and birth and parenting work, we want to get some sort of reward out of it. We don't want it all just to be diapers and drudgery. So, it's okay to sit back and facilitate all of those changes and not necessarily feel like you have to do a million other things. One of the things that I say a lot is that, and one of the things y'all may have noticed is, like, when I'm pregnant, if you're a longtime subscriber, which if you aren't a subscriber, head over to Trust Birth 101. That's Trust Birth 101 to sign up for the Natural Birth Cheat Sheet, and that puts you on the newsletter too. But one of the things when I'm pregnant with a baby, I kind of tend to back off from doing quite so much on the site, just because that's a huge project in and of itself, growing a baby. And running a website is a huge project in and of itself. So anyways, just give yourself permission to relax and take care of yourself. And so what I wanted to talk about today was how do we support all those changes and enjoy our pregnancy and feel healthy when all these massive things are going on inside your body, even if you're not seeing anything, and even if we don't focus at all on what's going on with baby, which we do want to focus on what's going on with baby some, of course, but even if you don't think about the fact that you're building an entire human being, your body is doing massive things, so there's so much going on. So the basic big number one thing that I think that you can do to support yourself and your body's health during pregnancy is to eat well. Because when you eat well, you directly facilitate, enable, support, build the foundation for, however you want to say it, you directly support your body doing what it needs to do and making all those changes that we talked about on Monday. So when your body needs to, for instance, expand your blood supply. Remember, we talked about your blood supply expands by about 60%. Your heart moves more blood per pulse. Your pulse rate can increase slightly. In fact, some women notice that they have a benign, which means harmless, benign heart murmur that starts up during pregnancy, and it's only ever during pregnancy, which is because the heart is just doing so much more. And so the way that we support that is by giving the body what it needs physiologically. And what it needs is basically the building blocks to hold extra fluid in the bloodstream and the nutrients to keep all of the tissues and cells and everything well nourished. So nutrition helps on both of those counts. You can probably figure out that nutrition helps with giving you the nutrients. That one's pretty self-evident. But how pregnancy helps support blood volume expansion is by something called osmotic pressure. So when your body is pregnant, your kidneys get the signal to put more fluid back into the body. That it starts at about 8 weeks of pregnancy and peaks at about 28 weeks of pregnancy. So we're talking like a 20-week build up to approximately 60% more blood than you had pre-pregnancy. Yeah, I think it goes over some people's heads. Maybe what I'll do one day, I was just thinking about this, is bring my jars in here. But if you think about it like in quart-sized jars, so if you had quart-sized ball jars, then like normally we have like 2.5 quart-sized ball jars, I think it is, and then maybe 3. And yeah, I think it's about 3 quart-sized ball jars. And then I have to go back and look at my notes. Then once you get to 28 weeks in pregnancy, like you set another 2 full ball jars, and then like slightly over half of a third. So you add 2.6-ish jars, and when I say ball jars, I'm talking like big quart-sized canning jars, and so that's like slightly smaller than a liter for you ladies who are on the metric system. That's a lot of liquid. I mean, think about it. 2.5 jars of liquid. That's the extra blood in your body. Your kidneys, again, over a 20-week period, so they're building up to it, but the buildup is important. It's important to be supporting this. Your kidneys get that message from your brain and from all the hormonal messengers going on in your body. There's the endocrine system again, that she needs more fluid in her bloodstream. So the kidneys are pushing out more fluid because, of course, the kidneys are our fluid filtration system in our body. Well, what happens if we're not eating to support an expanded blood volume is that fluid all ends up just pooling, because your kidneys pump it out regardless. They know what they're supposed to do. But sometimes our bloodstream can't hold it in, and that's when we get a lot of swelling in pregnancy. Now, some swelling is normal, like a little bit of swelling in the fingers, a little bit of swelling in the ankles, especially at the end of a long day. That's normal. But when you've got a mom who's got like deep swelling, they call it pitting edema, just really a lot of swelling. Sometimes we see facial swelling when it's getting really severe. That swelling is a sign that the body isn't able to put that fluid into the bloodstream like it's supposed to. I'm not pregnant right now. And so what happens with when we eat properly is we facilitate something called osmotic pressure in our blood, and we need a proper amount of osmotic pressure. So it takes like 3 things to maintain that proper osmotic pressure in our diet. And I like Joy Jones as an RN. She calls it a 3-pillar stool. One is protein. You probably heard that. And a lot of people think that's it, but if you only have one leg on your stool, you can't sit on it without falling over. So it's not just protein. So you need protein and you need salt. Those 2 things directly impact the osmotic pressure of the body because they just help hold fluid in. The salt, sodium, because sodium itself, you probably know, enhances water retention, which in pregnancy, this is a good thing. Because it's supposed to be in your blood supply. If it's in the legs, it's not that you want to get rid of it. You would never want to use a diuretic or cut salt out to try and get rid of the fluid. It's that you want to put the fluid back in the right place. So basically the salt, sodium helps with that. Protein is broken down, dietary protein is broken down into another substance called albumin, which helps maintain osmotic pressure in the blood. So it's salting to taste will give you the sodium that you need. For the protein, it's vital that you get enough because you have to have enough protein to maintain your body. You have to have enough protein to build your baby's body. And you also have to have enough protein to be broken down to help maintain osmotic pressure. What happens to the protein if you don't get the 3rd leg of the stool, I was coming to that one, is the protein gets broken down for energy. The 3rd leg of the stool is calories, which is why it's imperative to have enough calories during pregnancy. Enough generally means about 2,300 to 2,600 calories a day, and much more than that if you're expecting multiples. But for a singleton, 2,300 to 2,600 calories a day. When you get those calories, and grouped in with those calories are all the other nutrients that you need, the vitamins, the minerals, the healthy fats, all of that is kind of included in that calorie plate. But the 3rd leg what happens to the protein if you don't get the calories is your body breaks down the protein for energy. So if you're not getting enough energy for calories, protein is very versatile. It can be broken down, or it can build your baby's body. It can be broken down in different ways. It can be broken down to maintain blood supply. It can be broken down for energy. That process is called gluconeogenesis. I think I said that right, in case y'all want to look it up. But it's basically the body breaking protein down to create glycogen or glucose energy kind of stuff. I think it's glycogen that it breaks down directly into, but I'm not positive. It might be glucose. I don't remember. So your body can do all those things with protein. You want it to build your baby's body, maintain your body, and maintain your blood supply. You want to get your energy other ways, through calories, which can come from carbohydrate or can come from fat. That's a whole different discussion. But basically what we do when we get enough food is we support all those changes in the body. the circulatory changes are profound, and probably, aside from the fact that you're going to get huge with a baby inside of you, the biggest changes in pregnancy. So your diet supports that. Now again, you've got other changes going on, like your endocrine system, the integumentary system, which is your skin, and staying well nourished, especially getting a lot of healthy fats, is really important to those two systems, the endocrine system and the integumentary system, which is the skin, because basically, you're getting those good fats, which nourishes the skin. Another thing that's important is staying well hydrated. That nourishes the skin. They think that stretch marks are genetic, so maybe you're not going to totally stop stretch marks, but if you're eating plenty of good healthy fats like coconut oil and that sort of thing, then those things will help nourish your skin. And the good healthy fats are also essential to hormone production. And as we talked about on Monday, like your estrogen production increases like 1,000-fold, which is a lot. And you need to maintain that because all those hormones are important to the changes going on in your body. They're essential to maintaining the pregnancy. So it's really important that you support yourself hormonally too. Now, another thing that really helps to support your body during pregnancy is stress relief and basically stress care. And really this is important all throughout your life, all throughout mothering especially, because sometimes y'all, parenting is hard, but especially during pregnancy. Now, I don't want you to feel guilty if you can't completely remove stress. And I've said this before, and I'll probably say it a million times again, because I think we feel guilty anytime there's stress, that, oh, there's stress and I'm impacting my unborn baby, or, oh, there's stress and, my baby or my toddler was exposed to that or exposed to me getting upset. But that's life, right? So there's stress in life. Your child is going to grow up to experience stress. They'll experience stress when they do something that they're not supposed to do and you correct them. They'll experience stress when they get an injury. They'll experience stress over schoolwork. Even if you have like the coolest unschooling approach on the planet, they're probably going to experience some stress at some point. And then certainly when they reach their young adult and their adult years, there's going to be stress in life. That's just the way that it is. So when we experience stress, especially like if you've got an unborn baby, don't feel guilty for that, because what you want to teach your baby is not that life is free of stress, because that's not true. That'd basically be like lying. And I don't think most of us have a fairy tale life where we even need to worry about perpetuating that notion. But what you do want to do is, when you've been in a stressful situation, when you realize you're in a stressful situation, find a way to step back and relax. Find a way to calm down. Maybe you're not going to be able to relax like acutely in the moment, but you can step back and relax. And certainly if there's some chronic stress, like financial stress or something relationship going on, and it's hard to detach yourself from that, make times where you can relax, where you can get away, where you can take care of yourself, because that teaches your baby that yes, there's stress, but those stress hormones are followed by relaxation hormones. So like you sit down and you listen to good music and you just relax, and maybe you read a good book or something, and you have that oxytocin flood your system, so your baby learns that. Karen Strange, she teaches neonatal resuscitation. She's an excellent teacher, and she talks a lot about babies' hormonal experiences before and during birth as well. And she uses the example of like if you're driving the car and somebody pulls out in front of you. There's no accident, but when someone pulls out in front of you and you got to slam on the gas, or slam on the brakes, your heart gets racing, your heart gets pumping, you feel really scared or upset for a minute there. And so she uses that as an example, that then when you get where you're safe, maybe you decide to pull over if it was really scary, or you get to where you're going and you just sit in the car for a minute, and you just calm down and you put your hands on your belly where where your baby is, and it's like, okay baby, we're just going to relax. And then you think about something that makes you happy. So what she uses in her example is, you think, okay, let's go get some ice cream. And I bet you just smiled when you heard me say that. And I smiled, and I know that my husband smiled because he's been craving ice cream like crazy lately. But when you think about something that has a positive association for you like that, then you relax. You flood your body with oxytocin instead of adrenaline and the stress hormones. So that's something else that you build in. And I really think that those two things, nutrition, and we could talk about supplementation and things like that on another scope, but just speaking specifically about food, you know, nutrition, and then supporting yourself with basically stress care, times of relaxation, building that into your day. And there's a million different ways you can build it into your day. When you're pregnant, like specifically, some good things to do if it's been stressful is to find some time to get away. Fold baby's clothes. Think about holding your baby. Think about nursing your baby. That really brings an oxytocin flood for a lot of moms. Sort cloth diapers, stuffed cloth diapers. Looking at, you know, handling those little baby clothes and those little diapers makes people happy. I mean, for me, something that helps relieve stress is just going to the thrift shop or something and browsing through all the baby outfits. I just love looking at those tiny little clothes. And I mean, even if I go somewhere like Walmart or whatever, you know, just walking through the baby section and looking at those teeny little clothes and those tiny little socks and things, it's just, oh, they're so cute. And another thing is looking at pictures of baby animals, because baby stuff tends to make us go, aw. But anyways, those are all, you know, those are like baby-specific things that especially when you're pregnant and you're looking forward to your little one, those things can help you kind of calm down and relax. Okay, guys and gals, we're going to finish it up here. Before we do, I want to let y'all know that there is a giveaway going on on the blog right now, and I should have talked about this right at the very beginning and forgot. But you can head over to naturalbirthandbabycare.com/blog. It's right at the top of the blog right now. It's going to be second on the blog in just a little bit because I'm about to put up a podcast. But it's right up at the top of the blog. And I'm giving away Easy Peasy, which is a new clothing boutique that's kind of supporting elimination communication friendly clothing. They are giving away a sleepy gown. It is a sweet little gown. You get your choice from 0 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months size. And Heidi is the proprietress of that store, and she sent me a little shirt. Sadie's too big for the gown, but she sent me a shirt that's made of the same material, and we just love it. So check that out. It's like a 2-day flash giveaway, so you need to hop over there now. Again, naturalbirthandbabycare.com/shop. Hop over, get your entry in today, and you can enter again with some bonus entries tomorrow. And then we'll have the little widget thing pick the winner tomorrow night. Unfortunately for you international mamas, it's only open to mamas in the United States because of how Heidi's shipping works right now. But go ahead and check it out anyways, and especially if you're in the U.S., take a look. I've got some new pictures of Sadie up too, which everybody always tends to like. So take a look at that, and I will be here tomorrow. I kind of have a topic plan, but we'll also leave it open for Q&A too, because we usually do Q&A on Fridays, and I'll remind you of the giveaway then too. Y'all have a great afternoon, and I will talk to you tomorrow.